Magandang umaga, magandang hapon at magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Ito po ang inyong lingkod, si Jor Makinay. And today, we'll be doing teaching or schooling or reasoning on why there's no such thing as a tight barrel in gel blasters. It's a marketing ploy. And I have the graphs and physics and experience to back it up. Okay, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, first let's explain what is a tight barrel in airsoft. A tight barrel is a barrel that has a smaller outer diameter. A normal diameter of a barrel, this is a stock barrel, is around 6.4 millimeters, the inner diameter. A tight barrel goes from 6.1 to 6.01. And from that one, you can see that it is slightly smaller than the usual barrel length. This is the, this one. This and this. Why is this important? In airsoft, our BBs is around 6 millimeters. Some are even smaller. Okay? So, if our air from the gearbox is consistent, the smaller the inner diameter, let's say 6 mm less 6.4, so there's a distance around 0.2 and 0.2 millimeters between these two lines. So this is basically an air leakage. In airsoft, since this is a solid object, since there's an air current here, there's an air current here, the BB basically floats going outside depending on how fast, PS or meters per second, or the volume of the air going from this direction to that direction. The tighter it is, it means that the inner diameter is smaller. This one, the spaces between these two, 6 mm less 6.1, so there's 0.5 mm, 0.5 mm here, because this 6.1, there's a 0.1 difference, 0.05 mm here. Only for the air leakage. So there will be more air, this one, pushing the BB forward. The more concentrated it is, the higher the FPS. The higher the FPS, not necessarily longer range or better accuracy, depending on the cylinder barrel ratio. That's another topic. This BB might accelerate on a barrel, producing more FPS. And if there's more FPS, there's a probability that, since this is an airsoft, there's a hop up here, it will fly farther. Or accuracy depends on the hop up. So let's say slightly more accurate than the usual. So in the airsoft, if you want to squeeze the better performance from the whole system, we do a tight barrel. Please take note, in airsoft, if you use a tight barrel, and if your BB is the cheap ones, it should be, if it's a 6 mm, it should be always 6 mm. 6 mm. But if your BB is cheap, it might get deformed. And if it's deformed and there's a small ratio between space, let's say if you have a BB that is 6.1, on a 6.1 millimeter tight barrel, it will jam. And in airsoft, if it jams, it's a catastrophic failure. As in, this will jam, the gears will jam, the motor will burn. If you have a MOSFET, the MOSFET will burn. If it's a computerized MOSFET, it might stop, depending on what is your setup. The damage can be major to catastrophic. So worse or much worse. So in airsoft, tight barrel is a risk. Personally, I don't use tight barrels because I use cheap BBs. So, sometimes there are BBs that are, what do you call this one? Misshapen, and it will jam. If I have a 6.4, I have a better chance that any misshapen BB will still fit and will still fly. The FPS is more or less the same since I'm not using a right barrel. So, I don't lose much. Okay. Clear? Now, we go to airsoft. To gel blasters. In gel blasters, our gels goes from 7 to 8 millimeters. So, it's random depending on where you bought it. It may be an oversized or it's only a specific size. Since there's no stopping from gel from growing bigger than it should be, depending on, even though it's a good brand, it might oversize. That's why based from common knowledge, we soak them up to 4 hours. But some people, to prevent it from going oversized, we soak it only 2 hours, half. So the probability of it becoming oversized is lower than the probability of it growing far too big, because it's you probably forget that your gels are soaking water, things like that. There's many probable reasons. In airsoft, in gel blasters, 7 to 8 mm, and the plus here, the stock of Cyma N4, it's a plastic barrel. It's around 7.8 millimeters using my caliper. This tight barrel, aluminum barrel, that I bought is around 7.7 millimeters. This all-stock TG-ARP 9 version 2. Yes, version 2 is around 7 millimeter barrel. See, it's tighter. As you can see, barrel lengths are different. These are 3 different units. And even the stock barrel, the aftermarket one, you can buy varying, not varying length. So these are the 7.1. You can buy varying inner diameter. When it comes to gels, we use the same process. Air goes in, gels goes out, and based on the inner diameter, there's a major difference in when it comes to gels. In airsoft, the gel flies due to the cushion. In gels, it hits the barrel. Why? Because the gel is a soft material. So if there's a pressure here, as you can see, pressure goes in this direction. Since this is a soft material, there's a force acting on the gel deforms. Since there's a force here, tendency for it is they go in this direction and they go in this direction. So the usual, let's use a sample 7.5 mm. It becomes fatter depending on your gel, on your inner barrel size. So if it's if you have a 7.4 mm barrel, then the 7 point, yes, 7 point, let's use a 7 point. So let's say if you're using a 7 millimeter barrel and your gel is 7.5 gel, then your gel will expand to 7.4 mm. It will expand like this. That's why in gel blasters, your gels must be slightly wet, because pushing something on a dry cylinder, it will hurt. It will have friction, and friction is not fun. If there is friction, it reduces the acceleration of the gel going out of the barrel. So Clear? So, depending on your gels, you should use a gel outer barrel that is still enough for the gel to expand inside the barrel without it jamming. You would not believe the number of gel blaster units that has been brought to me that it is jammed. Okay? It's generally safer for a gel blaster to jam because it will just jam in the entire barrel. But if you keep on holding it, it sounds like it's firing, but in actuality, it's damaging the, it could damage the gears and stuff. Okay, so you see, if your gel is far too soft, you can usually use long stick. This is a unjamming rod designed specifically for gel blasters. See, for removing jammed gels. Okay. If your what do you call this one? If your gel, not gel blaster, if your gel is far too hard, 60N, 100N, and if your tight barrel is too tight, let's say if you have a, let's try this still the same. We have a 7.5 millimeter gel on a 7.4 barrel, there will be friction. And if it's wet, rather it accelerate properly, the friction of the barrel will slow it down. So your FPS goes lower, goes down. If you use the 7.4 hard gel on a barrel that is far too thick, the gel, since there's enough space here, this is a small one, it will bounce. Since this is, it will keep on bouncing because there's far too much space here. And since the gel deforms inside, it will not easily glide outside. And then it also affects your accuracy. Your gel and your inner barrel should be close, or not too tight, not too thin, not too open. It should be just right. So, people claiming that, oh, my gel blaster is tight barrel, it's better. No, it depends on your gel. And since our gels are random, as you can see here, there are random diameters. There's extremely big one, there are small ones, there are really small ones. Depending on the brand, you cannot assure that your BB or your gel will go through your barrel properly. And if the FPS is far too low and your gel is far too big for your barrel, most of the time it will jam. It's one of the reasons why some people who have all stock units, they go hard gels. And it jams because if they forgot to dry, if it's far too dry and they try to put it on a stock unit, there's a probability that it might jam because there's not enough air. This is a very complicated science, but generally just find the right barrel, inner diameter barrel, and it will serve you well for a long time. Since we usually use aluminum because gels cannot scratch aluminum. In airsoft, if there's a jam, there's a probability that it will scratch. If it scratches, it will affect accuracy. In gels, whatever. As long as you do not scratch your inner barrel, when you try to unjam it, use whatever you want. Okay? I know it's a little bit complicated, and some people will just ignore or not think about this too much. Just a reminder is that please do not fall to marketing. Some people will basically say anything and everything under the sun just to make a sale. For me, I stick to science, because in science, as long as no one else have disputed your science, it is correct. But if they have a far better science than me, I will take that. I'm a scientific person. I'm open to, not suggestions, to better scientific data. Okay? So, I hope you understand my rambling. And if you have any questions, do not to hesitate to put them down in the comment section down below, and I'll answer it as soon as possible. Hanggang sa muli, paalam!